What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri zone. Welcome back to a new week, but probably the same Juve, because the problems are not really quickly solvable. They're deep lying, and they go to the top. Obviously, as you can see, the title of the show is "I Do Not Care," and maybe that's put in a rude manner, but that's the feeling I'm having right now. That things will get worse before they get better right now, and that's not going to be solved by signing Vega, who's having his medicals and will be announced. It's not going to solve the problem. Loyal Kelly from Newcastle is not going to solve the problem. And maybe it's going to even make it worse. And I will talk about that as well. And there are a lot of things coming out from the media suggesting, get Mota out. But if you think Mota's not good enough, we can debate that. That's fine. If you already had enough time, you gave him enough time personally, you're like, I need a new coach. We can debate that. That's fine. But the main guys, like Elkann, I want to touch on Agnelli, are getting away with this. That is something we should be talking about because there are a lot of examples out there from Arsenal, Man U, that ownership, when they're not being held accountable in a proper way, they will get away with a lot of stuff. So before we get into it, as always, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about it. Okay, first off, if you want to write a comment on another negative video, don't watch the video because you're not going to like it, and move on. If you think that things are positive right now, that's fine. That's good, but you don't need to tell me how to feel, because this is how I feel. That we can talk about tactical stuff from Thiago Motta, and we've done that so many times, and I think all of us agree on many points when it comes to Thiago Motta and what he's doing wrong and what he's doing right. What I don't like is that, personally, I'm not like that. When we sign, I don't know, 10 new players, and a lot of them are very young players, and you already have an unexperienced coach, which I knew at the start of the season. I was like, this is not going to be a quick fix. When you try to change so much with unexperienced players, and an unexperienced coach, it rarely goes well from season one. It's actually impossible. Now, that wasn't aided by Giuntoli in the summer when we talk about a ball-playing center back, and some of you and the media is like, oh, but Conte doesn't need a ball-playing center back, or that coach doesn't need this, and that. Those are different coaches. Those coaches have a different approach to the game. You made a decision to sign Thiago Motta, then you need to help him with the players he needs. Otherwise, he's gonna fail. If you bring in Antonio Conte and you give him Savona and all these guys, he's gonna complain. If you sign Pep Guardiola and you give him a Conte type squad, Pep Guardiola is gonna lose his shit and he's gonna have an awful season. So you need to put the coach in the right place, in the right environment to succeed, and that goes with the players he needs. And we failed to do that in the summer. Now, that's not an excuse for us not being able to win games, because a lot of them are on the team and on the coach, because the mindset is not good enough. The will to win is not really there. So that I all agree on, and I think a lot of people agree on as well. That being said, right now, remember when the entire board got sacked and we were bringing in Scanavino and Ferrero and all these guys, and people were like, chill, man, let's see what they will bring. I remember that stream very, very well, because I was live with Julian that evening, and I said, and I'm not gonna, like, you can recall the videos probably better than me. I said at the time, I'm like, this is not a good sign, because we are bringing in people who are financial, quote-unquote, wizards. They can clean up the books. They are good with numbers, but they don't know football. And the moment that happened, I was like, the willingness to win will disappear because of that. Because there's these guys on the top, they don't know what football is. They don't breed football like an owner, a winning owner, or a winning president, or whatever, who's able to control that club, who's in charge of the club. They don't know what winning is. They don't know what it means being at Juve. That's what we are right now. No, it feels like nobody knows what it is to play for this big club. No matter the situation, it feels like nobody has a clue what to do when they're on that pitch. And at the top, nobody knows, and that's why keeps happening, because they don't know. Like, what are they going to tell Motta? They don't know more than Motta. Scanavino, Ferrero. They've even less experience in football than Thiago Motta. That's actually insane, but that's the reality. That's actually the reality. They have another job at the club rather than thinking about the football aspect. You know, that's that. There's no command. There's no real chain of command. You know, there's no real chain of command to proper run a football club. And when things are going south, they will go south. That's why I said this can, you know, between brackets, will get worse. It probably will. And of course, that comes from the top. That comes from Elkann. You decided to bring in these people. Fine. If you want people in charge as well to look up the books, fine. But football decisions, the installment of a winning mentality, knowing the club, that you need other people for. You know, Chiellini is at the club, but he doesn't have a role to actually make a real impact. What it is right now, that's not good enough. And it will keep happening until a change is made in that regard. And that, again, is not going to change with Vega and Lloyd Kelly. Like I said, one is not good, one is extremely young, which we already are. We are the second youngest squad, basically, we put out there on a weekly basis in the league beyond past Parma. And I think in the top 5 leagues, we're number 8. So we're a very young team, which is fine, I guess, but also very unexperienced. You know, not a lot of players have won. And the players who have won stuff are the ones making costly mistakes at this moment in time. So all those things put together, and you get this product where there's a lot of doubts, where there's not I want to, you know, leave it all on the pitch type of mentality out there. It's more about we play well to a certain extent, and then we don't know how to get it over the line. You know, again, I was watching the Napoli game, and Napoli players putting their heads on the line, trying to stop Thuram setting up a counterattack. We were not doing that. And that goes beyond fitness level. That goes from mindset. That goes installment. And right now, I think if I need to ask you, how many of you watching this video believe that John Elkann really, really cares about winning? I think a lot of you will say, not really. Not really. Because that's the feeling I have right now. That's the feeling I have and I've had, the moment he put certain people in charge in this of this club. Also, really quickly, Agnelli made mistakes. We are in a bad situation right now, also partly because of Agnelli. That, like, what he's done well for the club, you need to applaud, and we all did that. But part of the struggles we have is because of the things he kind of left behind. However, a thing that you cannot take away from him is that he actually cared about winning. That's one. Obviously, it failed towards the end, but he cared about winning. You can never deny that, even though I don't like certain decisions he was making, and it was not about football anymore, or like it was about winning, but the feeling around the club was not as it should be. And I think everybody kind of felt that as well. But he knew what the club was about. He knew that because he grew up in the club ever since he was a child. And again, that's not normal. That doesn't happen basically in any club. You know, it's impossible what's happening right now, you know, or that the club is owned by the same ownership for 100 and plus years, and the guy who was in charge basically of the club was in training when he was 10, 11, you know, watching training sessions basically week in, week out. That's not normal. However, you need to get back towards that. If it's not Agnelli, you need to get back towards people who care about the club, who know what it is, know what it means playing for this club. Right now, nobody is holding them accountable because, like, if Ferrero and Scanavino come out and say, man, we don't like what we see, you know, this is not what Juve is about, nobody's going to take them serious, are they? Even though I wish they come out and say something, I know it will be completely empty words. And the crazy part, like I said, is Motta has more experience off the pitch in football than Scanavino and Ferrero. And that is just absolutely not normal, but that's actually really the case, and that's happening, you know. So let me know in the comments what all, you know, the things I've said. Do you agree, disagree? Do you think Elkann really cares about winning right now? And do you have a feeling that anyone at this club really knows what it means winning, playing for Juve, leaving it all out there, going that extra mile? I don't think so. And that is not fixable with signing Vega, Kelly, or whoever, like Hanchko. It goes beyond that right now. It really is beyond that. So let me know in the comments, like the video, subscribe, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Ciao.